When people call me a genius, I often smile, because they do not understand where my ideas truly came from. They think intelligence is the key to discovery, but the truth is, it was never intelligence, it was imagination. My name is Albert Einstein, and I want to tell you the story of how imagination became the most powerful force in my life. From the time I was a child, I lived more in my thoughts than in the world around me. While other children memorized lessons, I daydreamed. I wondered what light would look like if I could chase it. I imagined riding on beams of light through the vast emptiness of space. I pictured the universe as a great stage where time and gravity danced together. These weren't experiments I could perform with my hands. They were experiments of the mind. Thought experiments. The laboratory of imagination. People often believe that science kills wonder, but I found the opposite to be true. The deeper I went into science, the more I was filled with awe, because imagination allowed me to see beyond what was visible. I realized early on that logic can take you from point A to point B, but imagination can take you anywhere. It allows the mind to explore the impossible before it becomes real. Every great discovery in history began as a spark of imagination in someone's mind. The light bulb, the airplane, the theory of relativity. All of them were born from dreams, not from equations. When I imagined chasing light, I did not have data. I only had curiosity and faith in my own wonder. That single thought, that wild dream, led to the theory of relativity, the discovery that time and space are not fixed but flexible, bending under the weight of energy and motion. The world called it genius, but I call it imagination made visible. Imagination is not limited to art or creativity. It is the soul of progress. It allows you to see what others cannot see, to feel what others dismiss, and to create what does not yet exist. Even in moments of failure, imagination gives birth to hope. When my early papers were rejected, I did not stop dreaming. I kept asking questions. What if? Why not? These questions are the language of imagination. Without them, science is blind. With them, the universe begins to speak. Let me tell you something few people know. Imagination is not fantasy. It is a form of truth that has not yet been measured. Every discovery I made began as a vision in my mind, long before it appeared in the equations. When I imagined space bending around stars or clocks slowing near light speed, it was not madness, it was curiosity in its purest form. You see, imagination allows you to touch the future. It lets you see patterns that reality hasn't yet revealed. That is why I always said imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited to what we already know. Imagination embraces everything we will ever discover. The greatest minds in history were dreamers first. Newton, Galileo, Faraday. They dared to see beyond what was known. Imagination does not belong only to scientists or artists. It belongs to every human being who dares to wonder. When you dream of a better world, when you visualize your future, when you create something from nothing, you are practicing the same power that shaped the cosmos. Look around you.
Every invention, every comfort, every piece of technology once lived only in someone's imagination. The world you live in today is the sum of dreams from the past. The world of tomorrow will be built by the dreams you dare to have now. I often walked alone, lost in thought, while people wondered what occupied my mind. They thought I was calculating or solving equations. But most of the time, I was simply imagining. I would picture invisible forces bending light and pulling planets. I would visualize how a beam of light might curve around the sun. Decades later, science proved those images were true. That is the miracle of imagination. It bridges the unseen with the real. But imagination is not just for creating inventions, it is for creating meaning. It allows us to feel empathy, to see the world through the eyes of others, to understand experiences we've never lived. When we imagine, we connect. We build bridges between hearts and minds. Imagination is the reason humanity can progress. It is the engine of compassion as much as it is the engine of discovery. The imagination of a scientist reveals the universe. The imagination of a poet reveals the soul. And both are equally sacred. Never believe that imagination fades with age. It only fades when you stop using it. Even in my old age, I never stopped wondering. I never stopped picturing new possibilities. Sometimes I would close my eyes and imagine the whole universe as one grand symphony, stars vibrating like strings, light dancing like music, and consciousness woven into it all. To imagine is to create. To dream is to awaken the truth hidden within the cosmos. And to believe in your imagination is to honor the very power that built this universe. So if you ever feel small or limited or trapped by what people call reality, remember this. Reality is only imagination that has already taken form. Every future you can dream of already exists in potential. The moment you imagine it, you begin to make it real. The same light that guided me through my discoveries burns within you. Your imagination is not a weakness. It is your greatest strength. It is your compass, your telescope, your time machine. It can take you anywhere, across stars, across time, across the boundaries of what is known. So never be afraid to dream beyond logic, beyond rules, beyond what seems possible. Because everything that exists today once lived in the imagination of someone who refused to stop dreaming. The universe is a creation of imagination. And you, my friend, are one of its most beautiful dreams.